Alright students, we're going to continue moving forward. In the last section we did section 1. This one we're going to do section 2, track a variable. Alright, so unless otherwise instructed, answer all questions and document all work in your Project Lead the Way notebook. We're going to do this using a Google Doc. Because variables can change while a program is running, it is important for programmers to keep track of their variables when they develop their code. Algorithms initialize and update variables, so programmers use a trace table or similar to the one below to trace an algorithm step by step, and to record the values of each variable with one column for each variable in the algorithm. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Google. We're going to hit the plus sign right here. We're going to go over to the waffle and we're going to choose Sheets. No, correct that. We're going to go to the plus and we're going to go over to the waffle and choose Docs. So we're going to open a new Google Doc. Alright, then in the Google Doc we're going to do a blank document and we're going to call this a variable trace table. Variable trace table. Okay, alright. Now you can pause the video and make that if you need to. Now we're going to insert a table and we're going to go 2 columns and we want to go down to 8 rows. Okay, now let's do 2. We're going to do 3 columns and 2 rows. Alright, so in this first one we're going to type variable 1. In this column we're going to do variable 2, and in this column we're going to do variable 3. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. So this is our trace table. Okay, alright. So what we're going to want to do is we are going to go back to Project Lead the Way. Alright, so we see we have these, so it looks like we need 4. Looks like we need a total of 4. So we'll go over here and we're going to go right in here and we're going to insert row below. Right click, insert row below. We're right inside of this field. We'll hit the 2 buttons on the trackpad till you see insert below. So we have 4 of these. So once again, 2 buttons, 2 fingers on your trackpad, and the menu will come up and you're going to insert row below or row below above. Either one will create a second row. Okay, alright, so going over here, this is our variable tracing chart. So you can go back up in here, you can click right here, you can hit 2 fingers on the trackpad and you can see title row, and you're going to give this the name variable trace or variable trace table. Okay, and we're going to use this to trace a variable. Okay, alright, so what we want to do is we're going to go in here. For every step in the algorithm that updates variables, the programmer records the value of each variable in a new row. If the variable has not yet been assigned to a value, if a variable has not yet been assigned a value, they keep its cell blank. Review the example algorithm below and its completed variable tracing chart. Note, each line in the algorithm is called an assignment statement. That means we are assigning variables x and y to a value. The line of code x equals 0 assigns the value of 0 to x. So we can see this right here. Okay, So what we're going to do over in our tracing table, we're going to keep this blank, all right, and we're going to go down here just a little bit, and we're going to insert table, and we're going to do 2, and we'll come down a total of 5. So we're creating a new table, all right. In this table we're going to do X, and in this table we're going to do Y. Okay, all right. Now, so what we can do, we can right click, insert title row, and we're going to call this algorithm. Algorithm XY. Okay, all right. So what you can do is you can highlight these here, and you can go up to this and have it put them in the center. All right. So what we want to do in our title here, we're going to borrow this right here. And we're going to pop right in here, and we're going to paste this in. All right. So let's read through. X equals 0. Y stays the same because we only do one line at a time. So X is 0, Y is nothing because it wasn't told. Here, X stays 0 because it was 0 when we assigned it in the last statement, but Y now becomes 15. All right. In the third statement, X equals X plus 2. So X is now 0 plus 2 because X equals X, which is 0. So now it's 0 plus 2. So this becomes 2. Now Y has not been changed in this statement, so it stays 15. In the final statement, Y equals Y plus 2. Well, X stays the same, but now Y equals what Y was plus X, which is 2. So that makes this 17. Okay? So you see how that goes through? We do one line at a time, and we place the variable inside of the cell that it represents. Alright, so there you can see you could check your answers in Project Lead the Way. Alright, now it's your turn. Complete a trace table for each of the following algorithms in your Project Lead the Way notebook. You're going to do this on this same doc. So we're going to come down here and put 2 spaces in here, and we're going to do 4 again. So that means we need a total of 5 spots. So we're going to do insert table, we're going to go 2, and we're going to come down 5, a 2 by 5. We're going to insert title row, and this is going to be called algorithm. And we'll paste that right in here so we have it to go by. Okay, now you can like highlight these things. That's good. We can highlight these. Let's see, what do we make this? We'll make these. Let's do 12. All right, and then we'll highlight this one. We'll make these 12 as well. All right. And you know, the formatting, I'm not all that worried about the formatting. All right. All right, so let's run through this, okay? what are we dealing with? All right, well, we know that this is X and this is Y. So we're going to make sure that this is centered. All right, so starting X equals 5. All right, Y is left alone. X equals 12. Now X equals 12. Why is it not 17? Well, we weren't told to do any addition. We were told just to change this, okay? All right, so as a matter of fact, we don't even see a Y here, okay? So now X equals X plus 1. So X is now 12 plus 1. That makes it 13. And then finally, X is 1, okay? So we don't even have to worry about that, okay? Because X, there is no mention of Y. As a matter of fact, we can only have one table, okay? Whoops. Okay. So what I'm doing here is called a merge in a Google Doc. Just pull the two cells together. You don't have to do that. All right. So now we've traced the X algorithm through its whole incarnation. All right. So if we go over here and look at this one, we don't get anything. It doesn't show us anything, but that is the answer. All right. So now let's trace the value of variables X and Y. This time, the values of X and Y are assigned in the algorithm represented by the flowchart. So what we want to do is we are going to go into here and we're going to insert down. Now, what are we going to have? We're going to have begin. That's when we're going to start. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 possibilities. So when we make our chart, we're going to do insert. And what values do we have? We have X's and Y's. So we do need a 2 column. So we're going to do insert table. All right, so we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so that's good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to insert a title row. All right. So what we want to do is we want to go over here and we're going to do our Control Shift window to take a picture. We're going to take a picture, Control Shift window, and we're going to take a picture of this and we're going to put this over in our flowchart up here. All right, so we're going to paste this in. All right. All right. So what do we got? Well, we have X's and we have Y's. Okay. All right. So we'll highlight this and we'll set this to center. All right, so what's going to happen? Our first step at begin, we set X to 10. So X will become 10. What happened to Y? Nothing, we leave it alone. In our second operation, we set Y to 5. Okay, all right. In our third incantation, we now have a conditional. Is X less than Y? So we're going to say, is X less than Y? So that's a question. All right, so this is what happens. All right, so we have two choices. Yes, we go this way. No, we go this way. Well, the answer to that conditional is X is greater than Y. So the answer is no. So that leads us this way. So here, our incarnation is y equals x times 2. Okay? So what is that value going to be? Well, x equals 10, so x times 2 is now 20. So that's our value. Okay? All right. So that doesn't make any changes. Sorry. Y. That's going to make this 20. Okay? So what I want to do, I've got that in the wrong field. Copy that over here. So my answer is 20. Okay? So y is now 20. All right? So then that takes me down to here, which is the next one. Well, what does x equal? X now equals 30. All right, x equals 30. So we have to pay attention to what the assignment stations say. Okay? So, the answer over here is indeed 20, but we wouldn't write out the whole equation. We'd write 20. Okay? So what does that make? X stays 20. All right, and then when we end in our final statement, x is now going to equal 30, and y is going to equal 20. Okay, so that's how that changes. Okay, so we have to consider what we're supposed to do in each of these things. Is x greater than y? The answer is no. So then we have to deal with the condition. All right, so might would be better in filling out this chart is maybe to put the no over here. Okay, all right, because that would be the other side of it. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, and that helps us. All right, so let's go back to Project Lead the Way for a moment. All right. All right, so now we're going to do number 3. And what we want to do is we want to track the value of the variable summer weather and the temp in the algorithm shown below, given the outdoor temperature sensor reading of 65 degrees in the example blank tracing chart as follows. All right, so what we want to do, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the potential of 6. So let's go ahead and make it 7. Okay. So we'll go down, put a couple spaces there. We're going to insert the table. All right. And we're going to do, we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 4. All right, so we got 4 columns. So we're going to go insert table. All right, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll come down 7. So this one's got a little bit more going on. So we're going to insert, we'll go ahead and get it down to the second page. Okay. Then we're going to insert title row. We'll go over here and we're going to use our screen capture, Control Shift window. We'll take a picture of this so we can have a picture on our Google Doc. All right. So we'll paste that guy right in here. All right. So what are we going to do? All right. Well, we're going to have, we got a couple different things. All right. We're going to say set summer weather to unknown. All right, so here we're going to say summer weather. Okay. And then we also have temp. All right. Alright, so our first inclination of summer weather is we're going to set that to unknown. We don't know what that is. Set summer weather to unknown. Set temp set temp to outdoor temperature sensor. So we're going to set here outdoor temp sensor. So we're telling this guy where to get this information from. All right, so now when we get to our first conditional right here, is temp greater than 80? So we're going to say is temp greater than 80. All right, so that's a question. All right, so what is our temperature right now? We set it to the outdoor temperature. So when we look in here, we can see, according to this, it's reading 65 degrees. So we're going to put 65 right there. So in response to that question, is temp greater than 80 degrees? And the answer is no. Okay? All right. So what do we do? When we have to ask another question. Is temp greater than 70? So the answer to that, of course, is no, because it's still 65 when we checked it. All right, now our next question. So here it says if it was 80, we would set summer temperature to hot. All right, but we don't really know what that was. Okay, all right. So what we do is we have to go to our third question. Is temp greater than 60? So here we're going to ask that question. Is temp greater than 60? The answer is yes to that question. Okay? Alright. Because the temperature is 65 degrees. So we set summer weather to mild. That's what the display shows. Alright. If it's any other possibility, we would set the temperature to cold. But it's not, so therefore we set it to mild. So what we can do, since we don't need these two, we'll highlight them, right click, and delete those two rows. Okay? So you can see how this thing is built out. We can see how these algorithms have been built out using these charts, and that's called a variable trace table. Okay, so note that variable names are in the form of camel case, where programmers use lowercase for the first letter of the variable names, unlike component names which start with an uppercase letter. For example, if a program required a variable to hold the value of player's name, then the best practice would be to give the variable a name like player name. Notice the P in player is lowercase. Notice N in name is capitalized, and you notice they're put together. If a variable is needed for a player's date of birth, then the variable name should be something like player date of birth. Notice the first letter of each word is capitalized and all the words are put together. The first word of player is not capitalized. Alright, so which of the following models the correct naming conventions for a variable that will hold the value of a circle's radius? Well, it would be this one, because it's all together. The second word is capitalized, the R is. Okay, so we submit and we got it correct. Alright, so that's a good job, students. We are finished with our next tutorial.